interviews as such are always individual interviews. The next point is, where do you do that? Prisons are overcrowded. If the director tells you have a beautiful office there, we can do the interviews, never accept it. It might be tapped or whatever. Usually detainees know best where they can speak most freely. It might be their own cell. Then I ask the others, would you please leave for a moment so that we can stay alone here? Or they have certain rooms, might also be outside somewhere, where they feel comfortable. That is the most important issue. And then we are sitting down there. I'm never alone with a detainee. We have this principle of 4 eyes. It's also good if you talk to a person, if you interview, you're not taking notes at the same time.
So
you should keep eye-to-eye contact with the persons, and somebody else is taking notes. And next time we might shift. Sometimes I need interpreters, of course, but try to have the group interviewing one detainee, not more than 2 or 3 people. And then I usually start asking the question, when have you been arrested? And then very often they try to tell the whole story, and they say, I'm innocent here. Then I have to say, that might be the case, but I can't help you on that. You have been convicted already by a judge. I can't have any influence. It's not my mandate. Where I can help you is to improve the conditions here. And then we come closer and closer to the main issue. During your arrest by the police or your first interrogation, have you been ill-treated? Have you been tortured? How are you treated after you have been moved to this particular facility? Was there medical examination when you have been tortured before? Did you complain? When have you been brought before a judge? So all that is for me important to understand the overall situation. And if the person says, I have been tortured, I ask, do you have still visible marks? I want to have a very, very specific description. Where was it? By whom? How did the room look? And if there are visible marks, I ask then the forensic expert to have a separate forensic examination in order to see whether his or her findings corroborate the evidence that I have taken. I think that's the most important. What I want is an honest account of what happened. And it is only possible if the people have trust in me. I might give them the business card. I give them this description, what I am, what my mandate is, what I can, what I cannot do. But then it's, of course, very much the way you're interacting. That is then establishing the trust that makes them speak up. So it should not be an interrogation, it should be a friendly interview. So usually my experience is, there are exceptions always, but that if you develop this trust, if you stick in the normal methods of carrying out these interviews, you're double-checking certain answers, etc., then you get a true story. If you interview a person who really is traumatized and who went through hell, then you have to build it up very, very carefully, and that might take 2-3 hours.